Hey, what is going on, you guys? My name is Rayge, and we are back today with a quick update video in regards to the Dark Dimension 6 First Clear Winner Award. So, if you guys check your inbox, actually, this is really promising. This is the first of the many rewards we're getting, thanks here to Beta Ray Bill's completion of Dark Dimension 6. But there was actually these tokens that are awarded for us. That's called the Dark Dimension 6 Celebration Token. And it's giving us this opportunity here to actually choose between Star-Lord Annihilation as well as Thor Infinity War. So I'm just going to show you guys how to get there first of all, just to heading to the store and using these credits to actually purchase. But we're going to be deep diving in terms of which character is the best in terms of purchasing, and it's going to be dependent on your roster too, guys, as well as what you're looking for. If you head over to the supply store, and then in any of these stores, you just hit the offers, scroll down a little bit, and you should be able to see it near this section here where they do break it out. So as you can see, we have a Thor Infinity War right here for 2006 credits, and as well as a Star-Lord Annihilation, and it's going to give us 100 shards of each as well as a 5 red. Really big, guys. Huge for the free-to-play community. But we gotta break down in terms of which one is probably best for your upgrade and roster, and we're gonna be taking a look at those factors. Also, guys, in case you haven't seen it yet, there are also these apples that now are officially in game. They're kind of tied to the spending of the milestone for the bounty, but as well, I have seen Kang shards in here as well. So if you guys are able to save up, that's pretty notable to add him to your roster if you haven't unlocked him. And you can just get these apples by simply farming the campaign. So if you head over to campaign, any of these nodes that have the words bonus, so I'll just hit villains chat, the hard chapter here. Anything with the bonus is going to give you the opportunity for the apples to farm. So just continue business as usual. Here, I'll just demonstrate, and you can actually get apples for each time you farm, just like that. So, back to our discussion, guys, here on Thor Infinity War and Annihilation. Both very different characters, but keep in mind they are part of the same Nowhere team. So, I mean, regardless, they're going to benefit your roster. For this reason, you got to take a look at the stars, the yellow stars that you have, as well as the reds, because you may ultimately want to pick the character shards based on what you're lacking. So, for example, my Thor Infinity War already has a 5 red, but he doesn't have 5 yellow, so I may want to consider that, so that way I can fully utilize. However, that's not going to give me a red star as opposed to Star-Lord Annihilation, where I would be getting both a yellow and a red. The other thing we need to consider is their kit and kind of what you're looking to build, right? Keep in mind too, they are a war team, so that's really where their specialty lies. They're going to get more benefits in war. So if you're just looking for a character that's more of an all-rounder to use outside of war, then without a doubt, Thor Infinity War is going to be the answer. Just because he can work with a lot of different teams. He has the category of Avenger being traded. He's a very strong cosmic hero character that can be utilized in campaign nodes. And more specifically, just his passive here, where he does actually provide healing per Asgardian Avenger or Nowhere ally, and he also has that chance to actually attack the enemy protector. And all this does not apply in war, right? So I mean, he gets a lot of benefits outside of war. Conversely, with Star-Lord Annihilation, he's a great character. He can still be a standalone character, but more of his benefits do come from in war. So, breaking down the two of what they can or can't do, I would say Thor Infinity War, in terms of raw damage, he does have more devastating impact to the team in terms of, let's take a look at the Asgardian throw, right? Most of his abilities apply defense down. His basic applies it. I believe his ultimate applies it. And the defense down, offense down, it's pretty notable in terms of an impact. And like I said, these are not just war specific. He's doing a lot of damage. He's applying debuffs. It makes him a pretty useful character, and as well, he can clear and strip positive buffs from the enemy. And what I like about his ability block is that it gives him an aspect of crowd controlling, which is absolutely huge. So having said that, as a standalone character, Thor Infinity War doesn't really need to even be with his Nowhere team, so he's hands down the better character outside of war. Now, Star-Lord Annihilation, he brings a unique kit. He's not damage based, he's more of a brawler, supportive damage, and as well as kind of being able to assist here and there. But let's take a look at Star-Lord Annihilation's kit. First of all, with his basic attack, what's notable is the fact that he can actually apply vulnerability with his basic. That's a very rare and unique ability in the game. In war, he gets benefits of reviving Korg. Like I said, if you're strictly talking from a war perspective, Star-Lord Annihilation might be the better character just because he has a little bit more benefits from War. His special ability here is able to apply blind. Thankfully, this does not have to be in just War, but he once again applies the vulnerability. He has blind for 2 turns, and really what you're getting from War is the fact that he's also blinding enemies with the highest damage, and as well as clearing immunity. But as well, you also need Nova as an ally. You can clear immunity from the primary target. So again, some more benefits from War. Finally, his ultimate ability, Spray and Pray, dealing damage across the board, applying heal block. But what's more notable is that he's dealing bleed, heal block to both secondary and primary targets. In War, this is pretty notable. He has trauma, and that's one of the more powerful debuffs in the game. And like I said, this benefit comes specifically in War. So if you don't have this, his bleed heal block is still really good and does some decent damage, obviously. And then lastly, with his passive, he doesn't have it as diverse as Thor Infinity War, but you can see he does apply evasion, and this applies outside of War. So he's giving focus, he's giving evasion to the most injured allies, deflex and so forth, accuracy. Only in War is he getting the offense down as well, which is already what Thor is doing with his ultimate naturally, and as well as getting additional focus. So I would make this decision based on this, guys. If you're really active in War, I think Star-Lord Annihilation is going to provide more value. He's going to be more of a difference maker in the War battles. If you're looking for a standalone character that's just better in all game modes, Infinity War Thor is the one that probably makes the most sense. But also consider how many yellow stars or red stars you have. Because for instance, if you're trying to unlock the character, I would actually go for the unlock as opposed to building up a higher yellow on a character. That way you're getting the full team if you weren't able to, partake and unlock them during the time that they were released. And then last but not least, the red stars. It's not something I would stress on. I wouldn't be making the decision on the red star. So for example, if I upgrade Star-Lord Annihilation, I would be getting a higher red. However, it doesn't cost that much to go from a 4 red to a 5 red if you're using the promotion credits anyway. So to be honest, that shouldn't be a factor. It should be whether or not you want the character unlocked, if you want a higher yellow. Personally, based on my analysis and the versatility, and especially with us not really being a war-heavy alliance, I'm more about the versatility of a character and how much he can help in other aspects of the game. So I am personally going to go with Thor Infinity War. He's going to give me that 5 yellow that can synergize with the 5 red, and I think he's just going to be a better character for me, possibly in the future to use in other game modes, as opposed to Star-Lord Annihilation, who I'm sure is great at War and what he does, especially what he can bring to the table. That's pretty much it for myself, guys. That's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I know generally the community has definitely segued towards Thor Infinity War, but at the end of the day, it does depend on your roster and your analysis in terms of what the game modes matter to you, and that's really what's going to be the decision maker. Thank you as always. Do appreciate you checking my videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.